Our creatives, it's Claire from Right Accounts, and in this video I'm going to be talking about using your financial and bookkeeping and accounting data to help your business. So one of the most important outcomes for me of having up-to-date bookkeeping and financial records is knowing where your money comes from and where it's going. Now, maybe you don't agree. Maybe you think it's a fait accompli. It can't be changed once it's either come in or it's gone out. So what's the point in dwelling on it? Maybe it's just going to make you feel bad knowing that you spent whatever $33 on 100 Etsy listings that took hours of your time and then you didn't make any sale, or that you subscribe to an annual plan to save money rather than just doing the monthly subscription, and then you actually didn't end up using it as much as you thought. Or maybe that you spent, $240 on shipping envelopes and then changed the size of your products and now they no longer fit in the envelopes. Now, although I agree there is no changing what has gone before, I wanted to take a second to point out a couple of things. So firstly, you do not have to use this information to beat yourself up, to judge your mistakes, and to basically determine that maybe you don't know how to run a business. You don't have to use this information in that way. Secondly, there are so many lessons that this information can teach us that will help you to run a better business going forward. Thirdly, well, although the future doesn't follow the exact patterns of the past, the information can be helpful in planning and forecasting. And I'm going to talk about all of these three things just in a moment, because I just want to say, lastly, if we're not reflecting on information from the past, then how do we expect what happens in the future to change if we keep doing the same things? Because generally the same outputs equal the same inputs. Actually, it's the other way around. The same inputs generally equal the same outputs. So if you're happy with the outputs, then go ahead and keep doing the same thing and hope that the outputs stay the same. But if you want to change the outputs, well, then we need to change the inputs. And if you're avoiding managing your finance, that is one input that will really help you. So let's dig into some of the things. So firstly, remember, set aside the judgment. If you made a decision based on the best information available to you at the time, then there is no need to be mean to yourself about something that didn't turn out as you expected. Plus, it's not exactly a nice workplace if your boss, aka you, is harsh and mean to your employees, aka you. So try to adopt the attitude of interest and curiosity and reflect on what didn't work out with that perspective. But also remember, in there are going to be things that did work out. So make sure you take time to celebrate those successes. So in terms of learning lessons, let's see what we can think. So reflect back and look at how could we avoid making a similar mistake in the future. Firstly, then how can you expand on what did work? So once you've celebrated that success, is there a way you can make that more likely to happen, or likely to happen more often, or just keep occurring? Maybe we also could reflect on how we could improve something that almost works, how we could make it easier or faster or automated. There are ways we can take what we've done in the past and really improve them so that they work seamlessly going into the future. Now, reflecting back, maybe you need to be more cautious about paying an annual subscription rather than a monthly subscription. Maybe you need to be less cautious. Maybe you just need to commit to something. I'm going to make my Etsy shop work. The $33 investment and however long in hours is going to be worthwhile because I'm going to keep refining until it works. And then also when we're learning lessons, think about how have things changed? How have they changed from last year? How have they changed from 6 months ago? How have they changed from last month? Because there's two sets of things that I always look for when I think about lessons. So the first is those specific actions, events, activities, or things that occurred kind of as a one-off and are fairly self-contained. But then secondly, I also look at trends. So what's going up, what's going down, that can be both good and bad. What's changing, and can you identify why that is happening? So what does that look like, Claire? So maybe you purchased 1,000 brown paper bags for market sales in February, not knowing that markets were going to get cancelled. So if you base this purchase on the markets you did March to September 2019, then it wasn't a poor decision. It was just unfortunate timing. Can you get creative with using those bags, or can you just hold on to them until markets are back on the agenda? There is not necessarily a lesson, but there's not necessarily a reason to beat yourself up either. Maybe when you're looking at trends, the number of orders you're receiving online has increased, but the average value of those orders has dropped. So previously, now you're only really sending single items, where previously you were sending 2 or 3 things in a single order. So can you think about what factors might be impacting this? And if you have successfully sold multiple items in a single order before, and it's something you would like to go back to, is there a way you can make this more attractive for customers? Is there a bulk discount? Is there free shipping when you spend a certain amount? Because packing 3 products into one parcel is generally more efficient than sending 3 separate parcels on 3 separate days. So then lastly, looking to the future, aka forecasting. So this information has so many ways to be helpful in your business. I'm just going to give you a few examples. So in terms of knowing that your latest subscription, your new Microsoft Office subscription, and your annual product liability insurance are all due on the same date next month is really going to help you in managing your cash. Knowing that you sell more of product B than product A in November is going to be super helpful in knowing where you should focus your making time once you've checked your inventory. And then maybe knowing that based on your expenses last year, your new piece of equipment that you've just purchased, and your updated pricing, that you're going to need to make $12,000 in sales before you earn a profit this financial year is really helpful in planning how much tax you think you're going to pay and how many sales a week you should be targeting to make sure you are making a profit in business. Like I said, there are so many places where financial data can be helpful to move your business forward and to grow both your profitability and your turnover. But the caveat around that is you need to be across the data. The data needs to be timely, accurate, and reliable. And probably just as important, you need to be able to understand it, the information and the data, and then apply it to your business and the current circumstances. So for me, bookkeeping isn't about being compliant with the law. Yes, that's an aspect, but really it's about how it can help your business. If you need an overhaul to get your business bookkeeping and business financials to the place where they help your business rather than feeling like a hindrance, then maybe we should talk about my money management makeover package. So over 4 90-minute sessions, we really do that overhaul of your bookkeeping processes and tools and how you manage your finances so that it feels achievable. It doesn't have to take forever. And it really is helping your business to grow and giving you all those proper business owner feelings. Plus, we build you a bookkeeping habit. And I know that sounds super sexy, but it is so helpful going forward. And all of that is just currently $545. Now, if you're wondering whether this is what you need, then I promise to give you my totally biased, subjective opinion over a no obligation chat. Just book in for a virtual coffee using the link in the description for the video. If you've enjoyed this content, I make content like this on a weekly and sometimes bi-weekly basis, really aimed at creative sole traders in Australia. So I would love for you to give me a like or a comment on this video or subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. I'll see you next week.